Hello, beautiful friends. It's Dr. Sherry. So, yesterday I was getting gas at the gas station, and my youngest daughter was in the car. So, I get out, I'm pumping gas, get all the things set up, and I get back in the car while the gas is going. I sit down, and I do one of these. And so, my daughter, her name is Emberlyn, she's like, Mom, why is it that every time you get gas and you come in the car while you're waiting to get the gas, you always sigh like that? And so I turn around, I'm like, what? Do I do that? Do I really sigh every time I get in the car? And she's like, yes, Mom, every time. So it made me kind of think and reflect on this sighing that I do. Because as I told her, well, in the moment when she said that, I'm like, well, okay, my sighing is not a sigh out of exasperation or a sigh out of, excuse me, or it's not a sigh out of frustration. It's just a sigh. And so as I've been reflecting that on over the last 12 hours, because anytime somebody comments to me about something I do that I'm not fully aware of, my brain just can't let go of that because I want to understand why. Why do I do it? Probably the psychologist in me. And so as I've been reflecting on it, here is why I do the sigh. And it's not just when I pump gas, but it's a lot of times. It's a lot of times throughout the day. There is a principle that Brendon Burchard talks about, and it's called the transition. If you can develop a way to transition yourself physically and mentally throughout your day between tasks, that actually helps reduce overwhelm. Think about it. Do you have one of those really busy, intense, frustrating days at work or at your job, at your business, and you come home and you're mentally still taxed and you feel like you're maxed out, and then your kids are giving you challenges, and then your spouse doesn't seem to be understanding, and then you get another phone call, and it just compounds over and over. The simplest thing that you can do to reduce the chance and the risk of overwhelm is implementing a simple transition throughout the day. And I'm talking all the time throughout the day, even if you're on the phones. So imagine you have a sales job and you're making phone calls, and now you have to shift to a meeting. Transition your mind and your body between the phone calls and the meeting. Because whatever stress, whatever buildup, whatever, was going on in your mind with the phone calls doesn't need to, and honestly probably shouldn't be carried over into the meeting. Those are two separate things. And to be fully present, to be your best, to be fully able to engage in creativity and problem solving and relationship building and everything else that next task deserves from you. If you can have some way of transitioning yourself, you can kind of erase the whiteboard and start fresh with your emotions on the next task. So when my daughter said, Mom, why do you always sigh? I realized upon reflection that is the way that I've developed to transition to things. And I actually sigh a lot throughout the day. A lot. I've even had people say, are you okay, Sherry? Yeah. I'm like, what? I'm fine. Because they heard me sigh and they thought something was wrong. Nothing's necessarily wrong. It's like a cleansing breath to signal to my body to transition to the next thing, and to signal to my mind, whatever's going on, I'm transitioning to a new thing. This is a really, really, really powerful strategy, and I can't overstate that. So as simple as it seems, it's equally as powerful to help you release the emotional tension and whatever else is going on so that you can transition well into the next task or situation or relationship in your life. So, as I love to do, the question to you is, how can you start to incorporate a transition into your life. You don't have to do the big sigh like I do. It could be, simply closing your eyes and taking a deep breath, or maybe it's just a deep breath, but not as vocal as my sigh is. It could be anything. Come up with something that works for you, that makes sense for you, that you can do without drawing a lot of attention, because if you're at work or around other people, if you need to do like a downward facing dog yoga pose as your transition, you're probably going to draw a little attention. So now you can have more than one transition. If you are literally coming home for the day after work and you need more than just a deep sigh to transition, totally fine. Maybe it's walk around the block, getting your blood flowing, getting your limbs moving. Does wonders to helping your brain kind of start processing things a little bit more. It really doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's helpful and it's productive. So think about that. And if you have a transition you already do, or you're coming up with something that you're going to try to implement, I would love to hear about it. So comment below. Thanks guys for watching. I hope this served you, and I hope you have an amazing day.